Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the vibe of Saturday Night Nerds live streaming podcast. And we have a bonus episode for you guys today with a celebrity special guest here with us. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, he is in the corner having the time of his life. Ladies and gentlemen,
Our
Jason
DJ for the night.
Paige.
What's up, nerds? Jason Paige on the microphone again live. Right here with the nerds, gonna keep y'all feeling high. Nerd, 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 can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you
Here. Hey.
What's up, party people? Jason Paige is here to answer some questions to keep y'all in entertainment mode. I also got some JP gold training cards right here that's going to be flying out, people. Boom, pow, pow. Throwing them out. Like money.
Making it
Bam.
rain.
Making it rain, JP cards. And I'm very happy to be here with you guys. Who we got on the line so I can meet all you guys? Who we got?
So, started with me is Deante the Giant.
Talking to the Deante the Giant. Deante the Giant. Deante the Giant.
Oh, and
Deante the Giant.
I guess you could call me Will.
Or Emperor Will.
Or Emperor Will.
As well.
Emperor Will.
It's just me. I'm just Cameron. Just simple explains that.
Hey, what's your name?
Cameron.
Talking to the nerd. Emperor Will and Cameron on nerds. Talking to the nerd. Yeah. We talking to the nerds night now. Where are we broadcasting live? I'm StreamYarded, but where are we going live at?
We have
here in
our
Missouri.
YouTube channel.
YouTube?
Absolutely.
Oh, multiple.
And
You guys are multiple, so we're multi-stream casting right now. YouTube. Where else?
we got Twitch and then
Twitch.
Facebook Live.
Sweet. Oh, excellent. Very glad, maximizing the followers, maximizing the potential right here. That's the way to do it, you guys.
Absolutely, man. So
Absolutely.
without further ado, I'll get into the theme song, and then right after that, we can just jump right into the vibes.
All right.
Here we go.
Is the best thing what? Exactly.
Woo! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I did not have all that background.
That's the jam, you guys. What was that theme song? That was y'all's theme song?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank
Thank you. My cousin was the producer for that, and we've been using it and jamming out.
Nice beats.
Thank you, and we loved your remix of it too. It was awesome.
Yeah, I like to do some. Sometimes I get with the looper and I just play a song, and then I try to imitate the whole song on the looper as closely as I could possibly do it with my mouth, with no instruments, with no programming, just me.
It's a beat. The vocal cords are an instrument. So yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay.
Anyway, y'all got to stop me because I could just keep going.
I was jamming. Yeah, I was having a ball. So we got Mac, aka your boy, is in our comment section. Shout out to
What up, your
everybody
boy?
shout out to everybody over at Dat Feeling Podcast Network. That's our longtime podcast family. So shout out to him and Kelvin Cately, aka Black Mac.
Black
So,
Mac in the house.
yeah, these are the best intros ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So without further ado, we'll pretty much just jump right into the first question and
Just get into it.
Jump right in. Come on, party people gotta 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 jump right in.
This is awesome.
This is the best thing ever. Oh my gosh! So you clearly have a talent for just busting up beat and just with your voice and everything. What specifically made you want to go into like the music industry?
The industry, was an outlet to make money and to express myself and to distribute myself throughout the world. Of course, now that the music industry is TikTok, the music industry is YouTube, is Twitter, is StreamYard, feeding right to people right now on a looper with absolutely nothing. I don't need to write a song. I don't need to produce a song. I don't need to distribute a song. Everything happens in one moment right now. But back in the day, you had to go into the music industry, or else there was nothing to do. You could play your guitar on the street and people could come by and hear you. But besides that, you had to actually engage with people, make a cassette demo tape on a 8-track recorder and walk that bad boy around knocking on doors to say, hey, this is my demo. You guys, what do you think? You interested? And then actually knocking on the doors of those with the demo and saying, hey, you got a club, let me play your club. This is my band. And you couldn't even really, you couldn't even show them a video of your band. It was like, that wasn't even possible. It was really, it was a climbing up the mountain, basically, really a massive mountain to climb up to get yourself heard on anything. And of course you had your 3 channels that let you know what you could be, which was MTV, VH1, and public access television. And I had a cable TV show on the public access network right over here. Where is it? It's somewhere on here. It's called the What's Up Show. I got my shirt of credits on right here. Anyway, it's on here somewhere.
Love that.
Got the shirt of credits because I don't like to talk about my stuff, so I just go.
let my shirt.
Go into them.
Yeah.
Right. I don't talk about it. I just show it or sing it. But yeah, so I had albums in the house when I was a kid, and that was the music industry. And my father was in a wedding band. My grandfather too was in bands at clubs and stuff. But I never really heard them play that much. That was just their profession. So when I started writing songs and realizing I needed to put a band together, me and my friends in school put the band together. We played the talent shows, and then we tried to play the clubs in New York City. We got ourselves a record deal with Imago Records. And matter of fact, I am just now in the process of importing these bad boys right here that I found in the closet. I got these high 8 tapes. We actually started recording tapes before they even had the high 8s. We had them on VHS tapes, and then the high 8s came in second. So now I'm importing all these high 8 tapes, and this band was playing every club in New York City, every club in New Jersey, all up and down the East Coast, just trying to get signed. And we got signed by Imago Records, and then the record never came out. So that was the first sort of music. Well, actually, before that, my band was produced by my drummer's father enlisted this guy named Steve Katz to actually, it was a series of 3 producers. There was one producer that did a song called Watch the Closing Doors. Watch the Closing Doors. Remember that? IRT. Was the name of that band, and this producer Steve Sells produced. But somehow the drummer's father hooked up with him, got him to produce our demo, And that demo, and then he kind of fell off. And then we got another producer named Steve Katz, who was the guitar player of You Make Me So Very Happy. I'm so glad you came into my life. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. He was a guitar player, original guitar player from that. I was only 14 at the time, but he produced the demo in his house in Purchase, New York, upstate. Once again, the drummer's father hooked up this guy somehow because he produced our demo on a Tascam 4-track. And that band kind of, got a little turmoil as 14 and 15-year-olds will start fighting and not really get along. And then that drummer's father, then he hooked up another dude from this band called Heaven named Mark Cunningham, and Mark Cunningham produced our demo, and that demo got us a management deal with none other than these are crazy, 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 crazy nights, which is Kiss. Paul Stanley's record company, Champion Management Company, Champion Management signed that band, and that band did a showcase, and that showcase didn't result in any record deals, and it fizzled out again. Then this other band happened with playing around all New York City, and that band got signed by Imago Records, and Imago Records hooked us up with a producer. Good time. Anyway, Bernard Edwards was my producer for that band at that time, the bass player from Chic, and then the band broke up again. That's what happens with bands. The label fell apart, the band got dropped, and it was the way to get out into the world was to have to enter the music industry. And at that point, after that band broke up, I was able to make a demo on my own. We had now had all these demos, and we did with everybody, but these producers that I mentioned had to be done in major studios or somebody's house with it. Steve Katz had that Tascam 4-track, but we actually, that 4-track got us into a full studio to make the real demos. But at this point, after the record deal broke up, we could buy our own digital audio workstations. Basically, we had a Mac hooked up to 4 Tascam. What was even the brand of that? ADATs. They were ADATs, and ADAT was one of the first home digital recording systems. Recorded my jingle demo with my partner Russ Irwin, who later went on to be the keyboard player of Aerosmith. And that jingle demo got circulated, knocking on doors again, as trying to get gigs as a jingle producer, jingle writers. And we got hooked up with a couple of jingle houses. One of them was Rave Music, one of them was New York Jam, and we booked Lego Mania, Lego's got a lot that's new. That whole jam, which, by the way, I'm getting ready to drop a 2023 remix of the Lego Mania theme song. It is going to be absolute fire, and I will actually give y'all guys a little sample of it right now, just because I can. But no one's heard it yet.
Legendary.
No one's heard it.
You heard it first from here, people.
Yeah, the first time.
Lego's got a lot to do for the maniac in you. Once you feel the feeling,
all right, that's it. You gotta download it when it gets released to hear more of it.
That's awesome.
You heard it, folks. Well, watch out for Lego.
Hey, we heard it here first.
Yeah, and
yeah.
We have a guest. His son just graduated high school, and he was looking to see if he could get a shout out. It's Connor Locke.
Connor.
Yes, sir. He just got some love from JP.
There
Thank
it
you,
is.
everybody, for tuning in and watching the show. He just gave us a little backstory on his record deal and then some projects that he's been working on. So,
Yep. How it all came about. Go ahead.
Oh, outside of like before I go there, your tour with Aerosmith, how's that experience for you?
Well, I was on tour with them, but I was not an official employee of Aerosmith. As I said, my partner Russ Irwin, who was the keyboard player of Aerosmith, was the official employee, playing and singing all the backgrounds. And I would show up at first. Actually, I went with him to the actual audition, helped him set up his stuff, and got to know the band right from the first audition that he had. And then when I showed up at the gig, he and Steven Tyler were backstage rehearsing, going la ga ha ga ha ga ha ga ha, la ga ha ga ha ga ha ga ha, all up and down with their vocal exercise, and I just jumped in with. And Steven was like, whoa, what the fuck is that, dude? Yo, he hadn't, at this point, I think this is 1998. He didn't really, people didn't hear beatboxing other than, which, Fat Boys and like a couple of Rozelle was kind of on some scene, but you didn't hear it. It wasn't like the internet where you could hear all kinds of stuff. So I just beatboxed in front of Steven Tyler, and he was like, "Yo, you got to come up on stage and do that, bro. During Pink, when we're gonna do the section, I'm gonna tell the band to cut out, and then I'm gonna pass you the mic, and you just keep beatboxing over the set." And I was like, "For real? For real though?" He was like, yeah, come on, we're gonna do it. And meanwhile, it's 40,000 people out there in, I think it's Hartford. And I'm like, he's just gonna coordinate that, get the microphone with the sound man and tell the band to do all the stuff right there. And everybody's gonna go ahead and do that. And now I'm gonna jump out there and beatbox during the song in front of 40,000 people. Okay, yeah, right. He's right. That's right. Sure. And I was standing off to the side of the stage, and he was like, "Yo, you ready? He pointed at me, and I was like, "All right." And he came over during that part of the Pink is my new obsession. Pink, it's not even a question. The breakdown, and I just went. The band dropped out and he kept singing, and the crowd went crazy, and it was perfect. It was like, it was a great vibe. And then I sang backgrounds on a couple other songs subsequently after that. And then everywhere that Aerosmith was, if I would show up, they would pull me out to do that part. And then awesome. I had a girlfriend who in Japan, and she said, "Come on, hang out with me in Japan, and we'll go around to all the Aerosmith gigs." And we went to every Aerosmith gig in Japan, and basically we were on tour with them, but didn't get paid, number one, but got that highlight, that solo step out beatbox before anybody even knew what beatbox was. Right. It was just kind of crazy. So that also led to me being called a few times in New York for different sessions where they were doing some live thing, and they wanted me to beatbox for the live thing, which led to the Howard Stern thing. We did like NEW and a couple other radio station promo things before that Howard Stern thing happened. And then Howard Stern used to rock that all the time on his show. It became one of the top 10 Howard Stern moments. And then just recently he dropped the video of it, and it was like, wow. It was just, it was just the real energy, we just had this thing that was alive and real and like very authentic, and the people just responded to it. So and I just dropped it a couple days ago on my IG again, just to remind people that, been in the game a long time.
It took me back seeing Howard Stern for sure.
Right. He's still doing stuff. He's still out there.
Yeah, he he was up there when I was young. Like, man,
Yep.
still getting it,
They're
too.
older than me,
Yeah,
like only by a few years, but still.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I ain't
Yeah, it's crazy. Yep. That's
Did
my
anybody-
Aerosmith story.
Nice.
absolutely. Did anybody want to know about like his history with like Michael Jackson? I believe. At the backup?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, has he ever met Michael, and what was that whole experience like?
Well,
Yeah,
Michael Jackson was, in case you don't know, during his live concert, I did protection for gangs, nations, cut the group fit human relations. It's a turf war on a global scale. I'd rather hear both sides of the tale. See, it's not about races, the spaces, faces. We can blood transformers with your faces. See, sharp, get dollar. I'm not going to spend my life being the color.
Yeah.
Crowd went crazy.
The crowd.
Literally,
goes
the
wild.
crowd was absolutely insane. There was more applause in between the songs than the length of the song. He would do a 3-minute song, and then the applause would be 15 minutes. And then they would set up for the next song, and then he'd be a 3-minute song, and then another 15 minutes of applause. It took so long.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It was incredible. That was an incredible experience. I was the background singer, and I sang backgrounds on all of the music in the whole concert. The first part of the concert, if you see on YouTube, you can watch it, was Whitney Houston, Usher, NSYNC, Ray Charles, Liza Minnelli, all these other superstars that came out and did Michael Jackson songs. Destiny Child, actually, Destiny Child was one of the acts that did not do a Michael song. They did like their own medley, I think, and we sang backgrounds for them. And but most people sang Michael Jackson songs. And then the Jackson 5 came out for the reunion. It was basically a 30th anniversary reunion for Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, and they came and did all of their songs all squashed together in a medley, all the best songs. And then they went away, and with backgrounds on all of that, on all of those old OG Michael Jackson, all those OG Jackson 5 songs, that they were not singing much backgrounds because they're spinning around, not even touching the mic most of the time, dancing around like that, doing their dance moves. So they need background singers to sing their parts. And then the final part of the show was Michael doing his music, which was all of his mad hits. And when they came to Black and White, they were like, anybody in the background group know, somebody can do the rap for Black and White? I was like, yep, I can. I'm right here. I got lots of experience twisting my voice into all kinds of different sounds and shapes and colors and nationalities and tones. And I put my voice into that song for those two shows. And that was my step out. Another sort of like Steven Tyler moment where it was just like, you do this. Come on, let's do it. And I was like, all right, let's do it. I think they might have had Heavy D planned on doing it, and then he didn't show up or something went down and they needed somebody else to do it. So whoever did it on the actual record was not impressive though. So I feel like my version is already better than what Michael recorded. But yeah, he was there at the rehearsals. He was there telling us what to sing. He was there, guiding the whole show and being a super duper professional, like totally approachable, totally like hands on. He wasn't like this thing that they just wheeled in and he just did his thing and then they wheeled him out. He was in there. He was in there with every artist, organizing where they went and what they did. He was there with the background singers, telling us what parts to sing and how to blend. And it was really incredible. That first moment of meeting him was definitely a shock of like, oh my God, what is this real? Is this real? I'm really in this room with Michael Jackson. And then, you kind of got used to it. And like, and then it was just like, he was just like anybody else.
Oh,
right.
It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably how we're feeling about you right now. I mean, you're just an icon that we all grew up listening to, but you're just
in a way. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I mean, this is way more attention than Michael gave us as singer. He was definitely giving everybody giving everybody some love and working on the
Yeah.
show. But yeah, I understand that. Like in my life, Michael Jackson was the voice that had played the most during my childhood. So
Yeah.
it's the only thing I compare to. And strangely, on my Pokemon theme video, many of the comments are, "I thought it was Michael Jackson." A
Really?
lot of people actually just assume it's Michael Jackson because it's that iconic, and he's that iconic. So it must be Michael Jackson that sings, and it kind of sounds like him a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The very best. I would never was. My real
Oh my gosh! Speaking of course, the legendary song. I know we want to get a little bit more into the present, but
Sure.
if you don't mind answering now, how did you first get like involved in like the theme song? Like, were you approached, or did you go looking for it? Like, how did you get involved?
Well, like I said earlier, we made that demo tape, and when we started going around and doing demos for these jingle houses, the one house I did it for New York Jam that resulted in the Lego Mania commercial and lots of other commercials. And then this other one, Rave Music, I sent, which was also called Paradise Music. I did Domino's Pizza Delivers and some other jingles for them. And so what wound up happening when we were handing these tapes around is that all of these places would hire us to produce the song and then perform as many, you know, sometimes they would say, give us, it's a big campaign, it's a big audition, so give us as many spots as you want. So we would do 3 or 4 different versions of like Lego Mania. We did 3 or 4 spots, and one of them won. But they would also be producing them on their own in the jingle house with other music producers. So it's always a paid audition, basically. So it turns out that like I would do my couple of songs that we wrote and produced, and then I would go and sing a couple of theirs as well. So I wound up going around to all of the jingle houses and singing and being known to sing them even more than write them, even though I wrote the Lego Mania with my partner Russ from Aerosmith. And we had written some stuff for this company as well, and sang some stuff for them as well. So they knew my voice when they got the assignment from Pokemon they got it from 4Kids. 4Kids got an assignment from Pokemon to do the English dub and to do everything they needed to do. And then they went to work on producing the music for it. And that first thing that involved was the theme song, which involved a brief. I'm sure they got the brief. I didn't read it, but, you know, we were told what it was like, what they wanted when we got in there. And we watched a little bit of the video of the Japanese version before it had been dubbed, and we kind of see, okay, it's that show, and they want a young rock sound, and here's kind of what the lyric should be, except the lyric was catch him if you can, catch him if you can. And that was what we sang in the first session, catch him if you can. And then that's the paid audition. So, you know, we get paid to do that audition for them, and they send it off to Pokemon, and Pokemon says, no, we like the sound of it, we like the song, but this catch 'em if you can isn't working. So we're gonna rethink that. And then they came back, we got to catch them all, and then we went back in and recorded that. So it's basically all of the sessions that I do that are all over my shirt, and some, you know, some of the successes of those sessions are paid auditions, basically, for session singers, basically. So the Jingle House would pay me to go Subway Eat Fresh. And 100 other different little hooks that eventually wound up being that one.
Okay.
Man,
So that's how Pokemon happened.
Wow.
that is crazy. It's all these different.
And then the TV show became a huge success because of everybody that was watching it and loving it. And then they were like, well, let's make a record of this, because, you know, let's make a record and put a whole bunch of songs together. So that company, Paradise Music, did the full version of the theme. They added a second verse, they added a guitar solo, and I sang the whole thing. And the other company that I work for, New York Jam, that did the Lego Mania song with us, they did the other song, I'm on the road to the real city. They wrote and produced that one. So I went into New York Jam and sang that for the other company that I had been working for a long time. So I knew these guys for a very long time. We had a very deep relationship, musically and business wise. And they knew that that my voice could do basically what they wanted or what they thought that Pokemon wanted.
Right.
Absolutely. They were right. They were spot on with that.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. It's who you know and just putting yourself out there.
Yep.
He was.
Yeah, pretty much. It really is putting yourself out there on an actual physical cassette tape. That's how we got those jingle gigs. And we made up jingles that were just completely made up. We just did an AT&T thing and we wrote a little voiceover and I did all the voices on it. And then we just handed that out. It was like 7 or 8 jingles on that made up tape.
Man.
Yeah. That's how you do it. You know, I feel like the dudes at the pier and the dudes down in Hollywood handing out their CDs on the street. It was pretty much that. But back in the day.
No, that was the real hustle, like the mixtapes and demos.
Yep.
And you don't have to do that anymore. It's sad.
Yeah, you just got to email. Well, they still do it. Some people there's still some dudes down there doing it.
Absolutely.
I grab a CD from somebody, give them $5, $10 every now and then.
Yeah.
And then I bring it home and I never listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Did you just got back from Europe? How was that?
Oh, Europe is incredible. I was on a store tour. It's a European store tour with Jason Paige. It was just and I did one like Comic-Con type event while I was there, but I was the only person signing autographs at the Comic-Con. It was mostly just they had all the vendors like the regular Comic-Cons except in the Netherlands. And the stores are really great because it's a small, intimate environment of 50 to 200 people that show up depending on how big the places are. One of them they couldn't fit more than 3-4 people in the front of the place. So everybody lined up outside. They came in, they got an autograph and a photo. And then I went outside and stood on the stoop of the place and sang the Pokemon theme song with a guitar outside on the street. I was basically back to street performing again. But the stores were amazing. They had some stores in Germany that were run by collectors. They basically were like a museum, like of incredible collections of like all the Kobe Bryant. This guy's like the largest Kobe Bryant collector in the world. He might even had Kobe Bryant ashes there in the store. He was like, no, I'm just kidding. He had Kobe Bryant shoes. He had Kobe Bryant autographs on all things. He had a gold chain that he wore with a hat or something in a case from the funeral that he went to. It was crazy. It was just an amazing place. What's that?
He didn't happen to have any of his hair, did he? Kobe Bryant hair?
You know, he might have had clothing items and they might be DNA certified with some kind of sweat from him on there. I wouldn't be surprised. They're doing that with cards. They DNA certify like jerseys and stuff and they put them in cars. These guys got all those kind of cars. Then he had lots of jerseys hanging on the wall. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's B Brothers on Instagram. It's really crazy. You check out some of the stuff. He also had a Charizard that he burned right where the Charizard fire comes out of his mouth. He lit that part on fire. So it was like the Charizard had burned the side of the car with his fire. Okay. And then I signed that card, got to burn them all. It was really cool. Really great stores with great communities of people because, they're interacting in the stores. And they have tournaments and games in the stores. They're not just there to sell product. They're there to build communities, and it's really special. That's the really special part.
Absolutely
awesome.
How many conventions or cons would you say that you go to like within a year?
I go to 1 or 2 a month usually. I mean, that's kind of what it's been. I'm going to all of the Collecticons this year, which is pretty much a card convention with mostly Pokemon. But there's other card companies that are part of it, like Nostalgics, which is a new card game that I sang. If you're lucky, then you can't be the king of the hill. Just keep trying until you get lucky. Produced and wrote their theme song, which is dope. And there's a whole bunch of other card companies showing up at these places. And who was at the last one? Tone Loc. Funky Comadina. He performed at the last one. And before that, Yin Yang Twins, to the window, to the wall. They were at it,
Wow.
and I think Sugar Ray is going to be at the one in Long Beach, and Steve Aoki is going to be performing at one of them as well. So Collecticon is starting to step up the talent at the event, and I'm at all of them performing before these acts as well. So
Oh my God.
The opener.
I'm kind of like the mainstay. I've been there since the first Collecticon, and they just keep on bringing these other people in that basically I open for them, but they're really just, you know, second to my Pokemon theme song.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you got a great opener to that. Absolutely.
No,
No one
Tone Loc
can
was good
write-
though. He was really good. I was
Yeah.
very surprised with him. Vanilla Ice did all the shows last year, and he was great too. These old school nostalgic acts are really, they're really in demand right now because people really want to go back. They want to resonate with that youthful, joyful childhood feeling.
Yeah.
That only nostalgia. It's just nostalgia is really good.
Yeah,
It's a great feeling.
Absolutely, yeah. So, Pokemon became a huge hit. It still is after so many years. Did you ever get into like? I mean, obviously the fandom, but did you ever get into like the games or the trading cards or the show? Any of that stuff?
I watched the show a couple times. Once you know everything kind of popped again. And I didn't really understand what was going on. And I watched because I was watching it on my phone. And just recently, when I was in Europe, I watched it on a big flat screen TV that was like a jumbo, you know, full theater size. And I really got into it. And I was like, oh, now I started feeling something for these characters because you can't feel that much when you're watching on a little screen or even on your computer. But when it's on the wall, it was just, I was like, I wanted to know what was happening. I started caring about it. And I was like, oh, and the song came on. And I was like, oh, let's go. It was like, it was a different experience. I wish I would have watched it back in the day when we still were watching stuff on TV, you know, and really invested myself in it then, because then I would have understood the emotional experience people are having with it a little bit more. And I didn't really do anything relative to collecting or playing till Pokemon Go came out, and I definitely downloaded that and got into that for a bit. But I realized how complicated it was, and how you really have to know, you really have to love this ecosystem, and then I mean, you don't have to, but to really get good at it, you got to know what you're doing. I would get in these battles, and I would just be like, I don't even know what I'm doing here, which Pokemon to choose and how to battle. And it was just, you know, it was enough that I could just catch them I couldn't even catch some of them, trying to use the right balls and give them the right fruits and the different things. And like, wow, this is this. So then I sat down with some people at a game at one of their tournaments that was going on at a Comic-Con. And I was like, this is the college level course right here that you need to take in order to get that game going. He was trying to explain it to me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I need that, you know, they had this at NYU. I would have taken it perhaps at the time when I went to NYU, because it felt like a college level sort of course experience that you need to have in order to really execute the way that these guys were executing. So I basically started collecting the cards and having to understand the cards, because people are bringing me cards to sign, and I started selling my autograph on cards instead of just posters, and that meant that I needed to know the value of these cards, and know, you know, the characters that made sense and how cards are graded. And people would bring me because at first I got really taken advantage of, because people would just send me these cards that I would sign for whatever it was. I think I was charging $10 an autograph for the first time somebody bought 100 cards from me.
Oh, wow.
I think my autograph was $20 at the time at Comic-Cons, and somebody said, hey, if I buy 100 cards, can you do $10? And I was like, yeah, oh my God, 100 cards? Yeah, $10 a card. And he sent me the cards, and each one of those cards is like $50, $60, you know, and he sent me some good ones that may have even be more than that for the $10. He was, you know, quadrupling his money at the very least. Especially, and I didn't realize what was going on at first. And now I have a thing where, like, if there's a card, the higher the value of the card, the more the potential resale is with the autograph on it. You know, like $1,000 card won't be $1,000.40. My autograph is $40 right now, $50 if you send it to me. But at Comic-Cons, I just try to charge what everyone else is charging and a little bit under, because I don't want to be bilking people. And also give a photograph to people for free at the Comic-Cons. I don't like to charge for that because it's weird and I got to tell people no pictures. But anyway, the cards, if there's a card like $1,000 card, it might be worth $1,100 or $1,200. If it's a $10,000 card, it might be worth $11,000. You know, it might get $1,000 bump on an autograph because with a card like that. So I have to start charging more depending on how valuable the card is. So my collecting skills, my eye has gone up a bit just out of necessity to not be taken advantage of by resellers. But that secondary markets, there's some cards out there that I signed up $10,000, trying to sell that card for $10,000 that pay me $40 to sign on a $100 card. I'm like, what? So I'm hoping that it sells because that means that, you know, it proves the market. But, you know, there's a massive market of Pokemon sellers out there on all of the streaming apps, whatnot, and Drip, and eBay's got their own streaming platform coming out. So TikTokers are streaming and selling cards. They're selling cards. There are more cards being sold than there is alcohol in this country. Beers.
Cards,
and way better for you too. Way better for you.
Absolutely.
That's also very true. That's also
between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, man, there's nothing but money being.
Don't forget Magic too.
And Magic, Magic is the OG. That's the real OG right there.
Absolutely.
Magic was way too confusing for me. I could not. No, I'd never.
Another one, right? They said the Magic gameplay is the best gameplay out of all the games.
Right.
And now I sell my cards, my Voice of a Generation trainer cards. They're going for $40 right now, down from $60 on a special right now. But these are the ones that I'm gonna give out. I'm gonna assign 2 of these for you guys. One for your people to give away to somebody today, right?
Oh,
yes,
and then I'll send one to your your brand as well. Y'all can put up.
You definitely appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you guys that let me come on and riff out and ill out like this.
Absolutely.
This is it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Like, as soon as you go off camera, like, we're all gonna fight over that card for sure and tear each other's heads off.
It's mine.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Well, I'm gonna put the name of the podcast on it so that it'll be all yours.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Nice.
There you go.
There we go.
So we'll probably get into Q&A a little bit early. We had a couple questions in the
sure
section.
Hit me.
Let's see. The first one was Kelvin Cately, aka Black Mac. He wanted to know
Black Mac.
He wanted to know, how has the age of social media changed how you push your work?
Oh yeah, it is. It's a whole new world with likes and follows to accrue. Just follow me. My followers will see my numbers going and my influencer rate going up. Yeah. It's put the control, the business of entertainment, and not just entertainment, but many businesses back in the control of one person in their room by themselves, able to do everything on their own. And now the apps are getting so sophisticated with the editing as well. You can edit and you can distribute and you can monetize and you can do it all right there. It's a godsend. And I think, and not only does it help people to monetize and to run their businesses, but it really is the information pathway for everybody to share and get their own messages out and to really lift each other up with our unique and individual perspectives on the world. It's not, you can't be controlled. And that's why they're trying to control it with that TikTok ban. Because there's just too many people on there. It's like, and they don't have control over all those people, and they want control over all those people, and they just can't have it because it's too many individual voices. And, some of those people are crazy, but that's all right. You have to be able to identify, you have your own crazy filter, and I'll be able to identify it on your own. If you are too dependent on somebody else to identify the crazy for you, then you never develop it on your own. And then you are, you're sitting duck. You walk outside on the street, you can't see what crazy is because they've done sanitized it for you already.
Right.
You need to know, and you build your skills by listening to that crazy person and going, okay, he's crazy, but that one thing he said.
That is definitely
Yeah. Social media is it. And I just learned about a new thing last night called Quartal, Qortal. So as there's centralized platforms like everything that we run on today, including the internet that's centralized to the internet provider. Quartal is part of it's the next level. Once this censorship basically says you can't have red outline around your 4 pictures right there, we're shutting you down. And then you're like, wait a second, come on, red outline, I can't do that. They make the rules and you have to follow them because a centralized place does it. The decentralized world allows for people to continue to have their businesses and their expressions without censorship. It's not even censorship immune. It's impossible to censor. It's kind of like the Bitcoin blockchain. You can't change it. Once it's there, it's on the blockchain the way it is. Whatever that transaction is, it's always there. You can't destroy it. Even if you can't hack Bitcoin, you can't shut it down, because if you turned off the lights on all the Bitcoin nodes all around the world, one person would have a solar powered Bitcoin node in the middle of the jungle. And when everybody's lights came on, his node would send the message out to everybody else and just refresh everybody on where it's at. So decentralization is going to give us the ability to be immune to all of the censorship of the current social media world and the current internet world. And it's even going to get to the point where there's a thing called mesh networks, where you don't need your internet provider because I have a box that's going to shoot out internet to everybody in my periphery. Just like you can kind of see all the internet signals that are being broadcast by everybody in your building, in your neighborhood. Well, that internet that they're broadcasting will eventually be a decentralized internet that can't be shut down, because everybody will be broadcasting it as a primary node, and that mesh network will be how you connect to people from the next person down who's broadcasting. If you're in the jungle, it might be a little hard to get it unless somebody's broadcasting it, with a more powerful antenna that they can broadcast further, like these cell towers that are out here that people will have. They'll have one on their farm and it broadcasts to the 10-mile radius around them, and they can't shut that down because it's solar powered or it's powered by the pig shit that they got on their farm. It's like the new technology is coming to save us from the technology that's out right now that's coming to trap us.
Absolutely. Maybe the next 5 to 10 years, I would say, maybe more.
Yeah, 5 to 10 years, I would say, because it has to become invisible. Like, we don't really think about all of that stuff with the apps and how they're doing it and all the censorship and all that stuff. It just kind of slowly is creeping in on us. And then these other platforms will emerge, and you won't even really, it'll work just exactly the same, and you won't even really be thinking about where it's coming from or how all that stuff that I just talked about is working. It'll just work, like your TV worked, and then now your computer works and your phone works, and you're not trying to figure out how it works. It just works.
Absolutely.
Work. So our next question comes from our good friend Taylor Stiff.
Taylor Stiff?
Yes.
That's
what's behind you, like on the wall? What's your favorite collectible that's behind you right now?
Oh, you said Taylor's fifth.
Stiff.
Did you say I thought you said Taylor Stiff.
Yeah,
I was like
Stith.
Stitch. Stitch. My bad. I thought it was Taylor Stiff. I was like, oh, that's a good one. I'm sorry. What was the question again from Taylor?
Behind, what's your favorite collectible you have behind you right now, like up against your wall?
Let me see. Let me see. This is the one right here.
Not happy.
It's not working right now, but oh yeah, it is. Hold up. In the back of this thing is a little speaker. This was in the Blockbuster video in 1998, and it is a room greeter.
Oh
And that room greeter means it's got a little hole in the front of it right there that when you walk by it, it detects the light that has been interrupted, the light beam from that little hole. And when you walk by it, it does this. Hold on, let me see if you can hear it.
Oh my god,
Squirtle.
that's awesome. That is sick.
Hold on. It does three things. It says Squirtle twice. And then it says, gotta
Nice.
catch 'em up, Pokemon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so dope. And when I went to Blockbuster Video to get it, they were like, "Oh, thank God you're taking that thing out of there. We hate that thing. It's just on all day and night. It just drives us crazy." They had like 10 of them, 15 of them, and they would all just go off every time someone would walk by it.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, but
They have Squirtle, Pikachu, and Charmander. And I do have a couple of these from then that I bought that I gave to like my mom and my grandparents. This is my grandparents' house, where my dad now lives. But these I just got on eBay because I was like, oh, I should bring these to the events and try to sell them, which I have not done, but I will to the next event in LA because it's too big. I can't be carrying all this stuff around on a plane.
right.
Oh,
those
yeah.
have got to be worth like a good buck, I would imagine.
I think they were like $60-$70 on eBay, and they're not in perfect condition. Some of them are better than others. I have like 3 of them now, and I could probably sell them for because of $150 to $200 at least because it plays the song, and that is a representation, a very accurate representation of me. It's like people bring me the CD to sign. And sometimes they bring the videotapes for me to sign, and that's another thing that actually contains the song. So it's a good relevant thing to sign.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you definitely don't want it in the airport because like baggage claims will toss it and destroy it, and it's just like, oh,
exactly. Yeah.
Let's see.
Man.
Thank you, Taylor.
Let's see, Jeffrey.
We already.
We did ask him about the Michael Jackson thing.
Do we have any more questions for him, D? I think I had like one more I wanted to ask him. Did you?
I'm good on questions. If there's no more in the comment section, you can fire away.
Yeah, I did you ever imagine, ever think that he's showing off the shirt?
Oh man.
Did you ever imagine like you would be like it would be when you sang the song, when you did the song, it would be still a huge hit today, and just like how have just like the fans have just like loved you for it after all these years?
Well, I mean, what I imagined in my mind was that band that I was started when I was 14 years old would be the reason that I would have lifelong fans because of the songs that I wrote with that band. So the same sort of manifestation was in my mind from 13 to 25 to 25, 26 is when I was doing that band. And the band went through its many stages to get that happening. And then I transferred that same wish, that same dream to my own music and to working with other artists and Michael Jackson and all of those. And I get closer and closer singing backgrounds for, Enrique Iglesias and all kinds of other stars at that time, as well as doing my own music. And the template was to do your own music. That's what that's what people were remembered for. There was not a thing that like this that ever existed. And so all of these things that I sing, I'm representing the brand. I'm representing the motive of the brand. I'm representing what that company wants to happen. Catch the feeling. Can you feel it? Oh, Coca-Cola. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? You know, it's all about showing up for what that assignment is, what the brand is. And just so happened that showing up for what Pokemon was about the lyrics, about what those lyrics are about. And it was a real song. It was only a minute and a half, so it was still a jingle. It wasn't really a real song till they made it into a single. But the song, besides to catch them and train them, the rest of the lyrics are just general things that can be applied to life. And so it was a great way to have what I truly believe as a person, basically, to be the very best and everything that I'm doing, like no one ever was, to be the individual that I am, and you know, to my destiny as well. I know it's my destiny. It's like all these things in the music that were about what my life was trying to be anyway, except not with Pokemon,
Right.
but with other things and with my friends and with, you know, to defend the world with my own strengths and my own unique individuality, and to have a heart that's true and committed to truth and honesty and trust, and have courage to have that heart and to be that artist and to stand. So like all the lyrics sort of made sense to my life to a degree. And my life was about putting out the best art to change people and to affect people. I mean, that's what we're trying to do here. We never know what it is that's going to affect people, but we're all trying to do our best to what we do. You're trying to do this podcast the best you can with your best theme song, with the best beats in that theme song, and the best outline right here, and the best graphics, and the best, you know, everything. You guys are doing it. So we're all trying to do our very best at all times. And I think one of the reasons that Pokemon is so successful is because it allows people to be that individual, allows you to act on the lyrics through your imagination. And so, yes, I imagined that I would have these fans. I just didn't imagine that I would have them for this particular reason. And I have profound gratitude for that. It's an amazing way to have it. But no one has ever had this in human history before. The closest thing I think is Barry Manilow. You deserve a break today at McDonald's. And Barry Manilow sang some jingles, and you know, there's just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a faithful trip. You got Gilligan's Island, you got Go Speed Racer, go! But none of those things have the ecosystem that Pokemon has, with the cards and the games and the events and the movies and the cosplay and the art and the TV show and I mean, there's just so many components to it. So I couldn't have imagined it being from representing a brand like this, but I did imagine it being from my recorded works and the energy and effort that I put into my career as a performer, as indicated by all the other things on my shirt as well. Pokemon is just one of many of them. And it wasn't this thing until you guys grew up and said, who is the dude that sings the Pokemon theme song? I did not do this for my own personal gain. I did it for the product. I did it in service to the thing in of itself, to the art. So you guys, and you felt that, because it wasn't Michael Jackson up there going, you're my best friend in the world, you must defend Pokemon. It wasn't Michael Jackson. If they would have got Michael Jackson to sing the theme song, Pokemon would not be where it is, because you would be thinking Michael Jackson every time you heard the theme song. You are thinking about the game. You are thinking about the experience. You are thinking about your own imagination at that point. And that's why it's so huge, because of you guys and your expansion and your imagination. And I have to be careful not to be too in the way. Like, it's okay for you guys now. You're adults. You want to hear who sang the song, and you want to know about it, and you want to tell people about it. But kids don't care. They just want to experience the thing in and of itself. And that is the real magic. When you see a beautiful painting, you don't think about the guy standing there for 8 hours painting the thing, whoever it was. You just experienced the painting.
Right.
Yeah.
And that painting gets through to you unless he painted himself painting it, which is kind of how we do with music and the way the music, even if it's a song about a girl. You know, Michael Jackson sing about Billie Jean. She ain't nowhere in the video. Billie Jean is nowhere to be found. Like, even when we do songs about things, they aren't even in there. It's just all about the person, the cult of celebrity. And the celebrity is the song. I'm just the trigger. And you guys are the real stars. You're the real star because it was your imagination that created it and that gave it the value that it had, other than my 4 hours of singing, but your 4,000 hours of experiencing it and playing it and going over it in your head and not even thinking for 1 second who was it that sang the song. And then you got old, grew up. And then that's when people started thinking about who's the guy. Oh, yeah, it's a dude. I mean, it's a girl. I mean, it's a black woman. I mean, it's Michael Jackson. Those are the things. Those are the two most common comments. I thought it was Michael Jackson. I thought it was a black woman. Like, for real? Okay. I'll take that as a compliment. That's the best compliment I could have. Because
Man.
Yeah, but we have one final question in the comment section, and then we'll.
It's the final question.
Our good friend Danny Stewart from Comically Inclined, he wanted to ask, what's your favorite cover of the Pokemon theme song?
It's got to be the Jonathan Young heavy metal version. It is the most banging one. He's one of the first people to reach out to me to do it, and I'm so glad that he did. He's got a whole Pokemon album.
Yes,
it's excellent, and he sent me his track, and I was like, whoa, I gotta step up. I got to step up on this. This is not your average Pokemon song here. This is
already sound metal doing it, but he's just like real like.
Oh yeah. And I wanted to just jump even to the next level on it, and lots of crazy screaming and high harmonies and all of that. You know, that's the best one. That's definitely the best one.
Really awesome.
I have never performed that. Somebody asked if we would be at an event together and perform it together, and it hasn't happened yet. But I don't know. After that, these songs were not created in order to be performed. They were created to be recorded and played. So they are very hard to sing. Pokemon theme songs are already extremely hard to sing, and I've had to adjust myself to be able to execute it and make sure that I'm in good vocal health to really do it justice. But the Jonathan Young one, it's even more. It's even another level of can I do that? I'm not even sure I could do it, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure he could either, because he's, I don't know how much live performances he does either.
That's awesome. Well, we got time to close it out with a sing along.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got one trivia question and a sing along.
What we gonna say? What we gonna sing, y'all? You got us any requests?
I think we all know.
I mean, it should be obvious.
I got my pipes ready.
And people at home, don't be afraid to sing along too. Like,
please.
I hope so.
All right, here we go.
Now you call for the song.
Pokemon, something to say. I won't be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. To understand how that's inside.
Pokemon, gotta catch them all.
I know it's my destiny, Pokemon. Oh, you're my best friend.
In the world, we must be banned.
Pokemon, Our hearts are true. Our courage will hold. You teach me. I gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Make some noise, man. Second verse. Every challenge along the way. With courage, I will face. I will battle every day to claim my rightful place. Come with me, the time is right. There's no better team. When our will win the fight. It's always been our dream. Pokemon,
Gotta catch up.
it's you and me. I know it's not destiny.
Pokemon.
You're my best friend.
In a world we must defend.
Pokemon,
Gotta catch up.
our hearts are true. Our courage will hold. You teach me. Gotta catch 'em all. Jonathan Young style right there, yo.
You still got it, JP.
Catch 'em all. Guitar solo.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond.
Pokemon,
Gotta catch up.
I know it's not destiny.
Pokemon.
My best friend.
In a world we must defend.
Pokemon, our hearts are true. Our courage will pull us through. You teach
Yes.
Ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
there it is, you guys. That was fire. That was fun.
Oh my god.
It's beyond.
Oh my god.
That, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jason Paige, the voice of a generation.
A legend.
Yep, there it is. There it is. Voice of a generation, gold trainer card going right now
Uh-oh.
to, I say Taylor Stiff.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
ladies and
Congratulations,
gentlemen.
Taylor.
Stitch.
Congrats,
Sorry.
Taylor.
To Taylor Stitch.
Congrats,
All
Tay. well
Where's
deserved.
Taylor?
Absolutely.
She says thank you. She says thank you.
She's so floored. I don't blame her.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Screenshot of Taylor Stitch.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, that is that's
I'm
iconic.
Oh,
That is absolutely iconic.
And how do you spell you guys? Your guys' company.
Saturday Night Nerds. Just SNN.
Just
right?
as it is, one word, right?
Yep.
Saturday Night Nerds, SNN.
Thank God one of us is wearing the product.
One of us got
One
the
of
dress
us.
code. Oh, he's representing the Pokemon. Oh, okay. He got the Twitch
Well,
logo.
I got the merch on too.
The merch squad. We are rolling deep in here. we'll have a consolation prize.
Oh,
I think that's Ben.
that's
Oh, look at that. That is beautiful.
There you go, Saturday Night Nerds.
you.
Yeah, we truly appreciate you for coming out and sharing some game with us, man.
Absolutely, this was great. That was fun.
It was fun.
Absolutely.
How was the sound? You could hear everything all right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was
Good.
perfect.
StreamYards is good because I got it all set up. I got my compression hooked up. I got my delays. I got my effects ready to go. I got my tracks. I'm ready to do a concert right here.
Yeah, you got the
Yeah, we was ready.
EQ and all that.
Basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
dude.
Absolutely.
All I need is my background singers back over there.
Oh man,
If
that
you-
would
if
have
you
been.
need-
Y'all were my background singers. It was a little bit of a delay with the backgrounds, but that's all right.
Yeah.
You need some like interns, like we will gladly follow you on your next tour and help you out.
Thank you. Where are you guys located? Where's everybody at right now?
South
Missouri.
Missouri.
Southeast Missouri.
All three of you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for the most part. Cape Girardeau. Will, you're in Marion, and right now, D, you're in Cape too, right? Right now, right?
Will's in New Madrid,
Yeah.
Missouri, and I'm in Jackson, Missouri.
All right.
Madrid, Cape.
Yeah.
And
Kansas City. I'm coming to Kansas City. Collecticon.
Oh.
When is that?
Yeah.
That's in a couple of months.
very
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. We'll see.
So come on.
Road
Is that too
trip.
far? That far from you guys? Can you make it out to that?
We
That's
might
about
be.
I don't think it's that far.
If
It's
you're
about-
if you're ever in like the Southeast Missouri area, Cape Girardeau, Cape Girardeau has their own like Comic-Con in the fall, like in the beginning of October.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Absolutely.
This Danny Stewart that's in our comment section now. He's in charge of the Cape Anime Con. That's like every March or April every year.
All right. All right. Danny Stewart, hit me up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We've gotten. I know Cape Con's got like stars from Power Rangers. They've had Ming Chen from Comic Book Men the last few years. So yeah.
Wow. And if I for some reason I can't get there, we could StreamYard in, do a whole concert there. Just put me up on a big screen, a sound system, and have it happening anyway. Come on.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be awesome.
It's hard to say no to a Jason concert,
It's
man.
I mean, come on. I'm ready to go. I got my tracks. I got the whole thing right here.
Yo, we can make it happen.
Concert. Let's go. How do I?
Yeah. I have the email address if you want to reach.
Deante
Jake.
will help you up for sure.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So-
No, that would be great.
Yeah,
Mm.
there's
Yeah.
lots of voice actors that come out to this Cape Anime Con, so you could probably see some Pokemon voice actors.
Yeah.
Potentially. So
Mm.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm like I said, at least two a month is pretty much what my average is.
Okay.
I don't want to get too overwhelmed by it because there's one every weekend. There's two every weekend somewhere.
You're not
And
wrong.
not to mention the stores. I could just be hitting stores like every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. No, it should be the the weekend of where it's the end of September or the beginning of October. So around that time, yeah.
cool.
absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, hit me up with the information and with the addresses to send this out. I can actually send it straight to Taylor, or if you want me to send it to you, you can send it to her.
Either way, it's totally fine. I'll definitely shoot you guys an email after the show, and then
Cool.
We'll give you the link to our YouTube channel so you can play it back and see.
The restream, we'll be
Stream,
restreaming it. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Excellent, gentlemen. I appreciate the time on here with you. Any other further questions?
I think we're good. D.
No.
Will.
Yeah.
We're all set, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time and just like hanging
Thank
out,
you.
like having fun with us. We had a blast with you.
You're welcome. I got the remix. Uh-oh. Remix.
Remix.
Remix. Oh, the remix.
Remix.
I know it's my destiny. I'm my man's friend. In the world we must defend. I'm going to the gym after this.
You can run.
Yeah, the remix. Saturday Night Taking it out with Jason Paige and the remix. Saturday Night Nerd.
Best technology of all time.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was fun.
Absolutely. Well, without further ado, that concludes today's episode. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Shout out to Taylor. Your prize is on the way.
Yeah. If anybody else wants it, you can get to jasonpage.com/shop. All the goodies are there. Autograph items for everybody. Come on.
Absolutely.
Okay, bet.
Thanks again. And that is it for the